So recently, like many Singaporeans, I'm looking to buy a BTO or resale flat to settle down. And I spent countless of hours researching on the internet and speaking to countless different people to try to make the most informed decision. So I thought to make a video to actually share with you some of these tips and strategies that I've learned that some of you might not know to help you in this decision-making process. So during this video, I'll be sharing with you two main things. Firstly is during the balloting process, what can you do to better your chances during the balloting process, and also during the grant application process, because everybody loves more grants, right? So it's a very popular milestone to save 100,000 by a certain age, like for example in 30. And in my next video, I'll be sharing with you my personal journey on how I saved during my university days and running a small business after graduation. So do subscribe and like my video so that I know this is something that you would like to watch. This video will share with you some actionable tips and insights for you to get your dream home. So let's get straight into it. So as many of you would have known, BTOs are usually oversubscribed. In the recent BTO exercise in May 2021, about 5 to 6 couples minimally are actually vying for one BTO flat. Here, right, it's very important to pray to all the BTO gods to get the highest possible chance for you to get your favorite location. So in summary, here are the key schemes that you need to know so you know which one to look into further. So firstly, we have the Parenthood Priority Scheme, and this scheme is meant for first-time applicants who currently have a child or are expecting a child. So one note here is that if you are currently expecting a child, you are also eligible for this scheme. Next, we have the Multi-Generation Priority Scheme, and this scheme is for people who actually want to apply for the same BTO project as your parents. Thirdly, we have the Married Child Priority Scheme, and this scheme is meant for applicants who want to stay within 4 kilometers of their parents or want to stay together with them. So after collecting the keys to your flat, one thing to note is that your parents must continue to stay within 4 kilometers of your flat during the minimum occupancy period. Next, we have the Third Child Priority Scheme. So this scheme is quite self-explanatory. As long as your family has 3 or more kids, you can actually apply under this scheme. Next, we have the Assistance Scheme for Second-Timers. So this scheme is for applicants who are divorced or are widowed parents with children. Next, we have the Tenant Priority Scheme, and this is meant for people who are previously renting a HDB rental flat. And next, we have the Senior Priority Scheme, and this scheme is meant for elderly residents who wish to stay in a familiar environment or want to live near their family. So, did you know there's actually one scheme that usually people don't talk about? And that's the Grassroots Organisation Scheme. And for this scheme, there's actually a percentage of BTOs allocated for grassroots leaders in your area. But of course, to actually qualify for this scheme, you need to serve in your estate for more than 3 years. Also, did you know that you can actually increase your chances if you apply for a non-mature estate and if you are unsuccessful? So meaning to say, if you are looking for a non-matured BTO flat, right, for example in Hougang, and it's not being offered during the current BTO exercise, you can actually ballot for another non-mature estate and hope to be unsuccessful so that you can have more chances later on when your preferred flat location is being offered in a BTO exercise. So as you can see, HDB actually has a few schemes for you to increase your chances to get a queue number. However, there is actually no way for you to ensure that you get a good queue number because queue numbers are actually assigned randomly. So as we all know, HDB flats can be very affordable. So it's very important to tap on the grants available so that we can shave off a few years of repayment and spend the money on our families and when you have children. So for the HDB grants, there's actually 4 main types of grants which you can see in the table here. The most important factor here is to decide whether you want to get a HDB BTO or a resale flat. And also to add up both you and your spouse's income to know whether you fit into the income ceiling. So one main question I had during this application process is that if let's say I were to get my grant and later on if I were to sell my flat, do I actually need to return the grant to HDB? The answer is actually no. For any grants that you get, if let's say you were to sell your flat, the grant amount will actually be contributed back to your CPF account. I think it's very daunting to survive and thrive as a young adult in today's day and age. So that's why I set up this YouTube channel to document my adulting journey and also to share some tips that help me in my effort to lead a more fulfilling life. If this is something that resonates with you, do subscribe and like this video, and you can comment below what you would like to watch in future videos. You need to be we have the childhood parenthood